Hello, it's Marsha Woodfield, the Rolling Realtor. Welcome to Team Tuesdays. My guest today is none other than Bindra Maharaj.
Hi, everybody.
Bindra and I have worked together a lot in the office, and so he's my partner on some deals, and I really enjoy working with him, and I wanted you all to get a chance to know him a little bit more and hear about his experiences and where he comes from in real estate. So why don't we start with how you started? How'd you get here? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, for 13 years, I worked in retail for a long time. I've worked for companies such as The Gap, Forever 21, and Express. And then I figured, why not make the jump over to real estate? Just because it seemed like an industry where my skills were easily transferable. It was definitely some of the things I was looking for was to be able to control my time and earn as much as I put in.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big one, right?
Yeah.
You work for someone else, you put in all this time, and most of it goes to them, right?
Pretty much.
And here, you get a lot more back for what you put in. It may take a little time, but you eventually get it. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah. And having flexibility in your schedule is really good too, right?
Yep.
Just making your own hours, all that kind of thing. I love that. Great. So we've talked a little bit. I know that decision wasn't made lightly though, right?
Right.
So it took you a little time to decide.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little over the time, after leaving retail, it took me a year to get out of where I was. But, you figure things out and you just go ahead and do it. You just got to make the decision.
Yeah. I love it. So, and then you went to a real estate school. And I know that for some people, like I did online, there's in person, there's things that take 2 weeks, there's things that take up to 6 months. What did you do?
I actually went to the in-person classes at the New York Real Estate Institute in Park Slope, 14th Street and 4th Avenue, I believe is the address. But yeah, I went to the classes in person just because I don't learn well online. So I kind of learned better from somebody teaching me in person. I did the classes 10 days straight, two classes a day. And then, went ahead, did the course exam, and then applied for my real estate exam and took the New York State test.
Sweet. Yeah, that's great. I love it. Yeah, got it done quickly.
Yeah.
I did mine online in about the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. So, everyone does things in different ways. That's kind of one of the things I'm talking to you about today is like, what are your systems? How do you go about doing things here? Now, I know that you've taken some of what you did in retail, or a big part of what you did in retail, and transferred it to how you do real estate. So what are some of the things that you use from that here?
Definitely, I would say the customer service aspect is one, because this is a service industry. So, making sure that you're there for your client, making sure that you respond to them. It's all part of things that we learned in retail. Another big thing was just time management. That's the one biggest part of this business that you have that you can't get back is time. So you got to really learn to prioritize, just be disciplined and manage your time accordingly to just make sure you're focusing in on the things that are going to be beneficial to you and your business.
Yeah, right? Nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, and I know from working with you that you have a very organized way of working that I really appreciate, and I think even other people in the office have learned from you, in that regard. And I know that, so you've mentioned it, like customer service, but what are some of the things very specifically how you work?
Well, I plan my weeks out in advance and I try to follow the same systems week after week. Of course, if something isn't working, you got to kind of adjust and you have to make sure that, it works for you, right? Yeah. I think a big part of just creating that is it helps me stay focused on the goal at hand. So, from like Mondays, I focus on ads, Tuesdays, I'll focus on my sphere of influence. Wednesday, I'll focus on prospecting. Certain things like that help me just stay in line weekly, and then helps me reach my goal.
I like that. Yeah, that's really, really important. I think that's true in any business, right? Having those kind of systems in place. And I just really like how you do that.
Thanks, Marcia.
Yeah. You're welcome, Bindra. We learn from each other,
Yeah.
This is part of Team Tuesdays, right?
Yeah.
Like talking about what is it that we each offer to the team and how we share that with each other.
100%.
And I know you and I both have been influenced by other people in the office and learned from those folks as well.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
One of the things they say is that, it's not like it's a new business. It's been done before, right?
Right.
So you take what the past successful people and the experiences they have and you learn from it,
Right. Learn from it and then make it your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Very cool. Yeah. I love it. So what is something in particular that you really like about doing real estate?
I would say the challenges that I face every day, and when I say challenges, it's finding that next person or helping that client find that next home. It's a challenge to me, and I always feel like I do my best when I feel challenged. I also think that controlling your business and your time is really important, because if you're putting in 40 hours of work, you want to see that. You want to see some progress to that, and I think that real estate allows you to do that. And then every day, you make mistakes, but you learn, right? I think one of the best things about this business is that you can wake up every day and start fresh.
True.
Yeah.
So true. Yeah. Again, true in lots of businesses.
Right.
You can start fresh every day.
Yeah.
But it's a great thing to remember, right? You start over every day and you learn from your mistakes. It's such a big one.
Yep.
We've talked about that with other people too. And real estate definitely gives the opportunity to do that.
100%.
No matter how much you learn from other people.
Yep.
Which kind of brings us back, I remember you talking to me a little bit about kind of the one thing that you took from going to school, like an instructor said. What was that? Yeah.
The instructor said, and I quote, I can't name his name, but he said, once you pass the test, throw the book out the window. And I didn't understand what it meant at that time, but what you learn in school is a lot of the technical stuff, and what you learn in real estate is a lot of experience, right? You learn with each case, you learn with each person you deal with. Something is bound to happen, and you never stop learning.
Yeah.
And I think that what you do when you do learn that mistake that you made is that you try not to make it again. You improve.
Right. I think I've noticed in real estate, you learn very quickly because it's almost like survival that you really can't make that mistake again, right? You made that mistake, you messed up that deal, you better fix it quick, right?
Yep.
Or you're not gonna, continue.
Exactly.
So you are forced to learn very quickly.
Agreed.
In this business. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So, what are some things that, or maybe one or two things that have been particularly satisfying for you, like a particular experience? Or
I would definitely say the 80 Vanderbilt, of course, right?
Yeah.
We got that on just being in the office, being in the right place at the right time.
Right.
So I think having that was really satisfying because you worry about it, how you're going to get it. And then when it happens, you're just like, oh my God. You don't know,
Yeah.
I think the other part is really just like anytime I get a list, you go out, you get it, and you close it. If you do that on your own, it's very satisfying to me because at the end of the day, I did that.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I did that.
Yeah.
It's all you. It's all up to you. You take everything you've learned and it comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's so great.
Yeah.
Well said. Really well said. So then, I know for me personally and lots of other people, and this happens in life daily, but again, I feel like real estate gives us the opportunity for this, tenfold. What are some ways that personally and professionally you've grown since you started doing real estate, being a real estate agent?
That's a good question. A lot of what I did previously in retail was hold other people accountable. I think real estate really teaches you how to hold yourself accountable. And I think that's where I'm growing and still continuing to grow. Whether it's positive reinforcement or just a consequence for something I didn't do, I just hold myself accountable. I think the other thing too was just comfortable being uncomfortable. Real estate has really helped me get out of my shell more and be put into situations where I normally wouldn't be put in, whether that's, picking up the phone and calling an owner to go help him rent his listing or sell his listing, to being in front of them. I think that real estate does that to you a lot. And the last thing was, face your fears, stay true to the goals and systems, and you will continue to grow and be successful.
Yeah, we talked about this definitely with some other people in my videos, and just the getting over the fears and facing them and going and doing it anyway is such a big part of this business. But as we've learned, a really satisfying part of this business. You get personal growth out of that.
Yeah.
You get professional growth out of that. And if you're not growing, neither
are
is
you
your
going?
business. You're not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the good stuff. I really love it. So I guess just the last thing is there anything that in particular that you would like to impart to anyone watching, whether it's an upcoming real estate agent or just anything you'd like to share?
The hardest part about this business is being able to take a punch and get back up. And, I still quite haven't gotten there fully 100%, but you learn. And you get back up.
Yeah.
You just get back up and you keep going. You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. But it's when you get back up after that punch that you feel good.
Yeah. And that's a nice segue to bringing it back to the team, because sometimes your team can help you get back up, right? You take that hit, you talk to somebody, they've taken those kind of hits, it just helps you kind of keep going.
Yep.
100%. Great. Thank you so much, Bindra.
All right, no problem.
It
was a pleasure.
Really, it was really fun to interview you, and just, like I said, everyone has something to offer, and I just really love your particular perspective.
Thanks, Marcia.
Thanks.
Bye.
Until next week, everybody, stay tuned for Team Tuesdays. Peace.